Hello, you tens. Hopefully you've opened up your booklet, you've done your speed calculations, your distance time graphs, you've looked at converting miles per hour to meters per second, kilometers per hour to meters per second. So now we're just going to move on to look at acceleration. So if you scroll down, you will see we've got some questions on acceleration here. I believe we did quite a few of these in class. I'm only going to do a couple. So with that in mind, what we need to think is acceleration is change in velocity over time. So, there we are. So, if you look at some of your questions, let's do a nice couple of easy ones and find them. Here we go. There we go. There's your questions. So, what we have is we have question number 1. Calculate acceleration when delta v is equal to 20 meters per second and time is equal to 5 seconds. So acceleration A is equal to delta v over time. So that's delta meaning change. So that's equal to change in v, velocity over time. Now, what we can actually see is that change in velocity is equal to the final velocity v minus the starting velocity or initial velocity u over t. So that will help in the more difficult questions. So let's just do 1b. So 1b. So what we've got to do is we're going to calculate the acceleration. And we're given v is equal to 50 meters per second, time is 25. So we have v is equal to 50 meters per second, time is equal to 25 seconds. So we have formula. So we have a is equal to change in velocity over t, which is 25. T. So A is equal to delta V over T. So moving on, then we have change in velocity is 50 over the time, which is 25, which is equal to 2. Now it's meters seconds squared here. So, right, now we'll just look at question 5 here. The car travels from rest. Now this is, I'm doing question number 5 because it's got this idea of rest in here. Well, if it's at rest, that means it's traveling at 0 meters per second. And it travels to 56 meters per second in 28 seconds. What's its acceleration? So question number 5. We have acceleration, that's what we're finding. We have initial velocity, u, is equal to 0 meters per second. Final velocity is equal to 56 meters per second. And time is equal to 28. So A is equal to change in velocity over t. And that change in velocity is equal to 56 minus 0 all over 28. That's equal to 56 divided by 28, which is 2 meters per second squared. So moving on. So we'll do question number 7. And I think we can leave it at that, and then we'll move on to velocity time graphs. So question number 7. So a cyclist in the Tour de France accelerates down a hill from 22 meters per second to a speed of 37 meters per second. This acceleration takes him 2 seconds. Watch his change in velocity and then calculate the acceleration. So we're looking for delta v, and that is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity. So final velocity is 38. Hang on, no, wrong one. Is 37 minus 22, which is its starting velocity, which is equal to 15. So now what we've got to do, that's A, question A. Now we're doing question B and finding acceleration. Acceleration is the change in velocity. A is equal to change in velocity over t, which in this case is 15. Oops, can't you? What's going on there? Which is 15 divided by time, which in our case, looking at the question, is 2 seconds. So it's 7.5 meters per second squared. Right. Sorry if that was a bit rough, but that's the answer. So moving on then to our velocity time graphs. So basic, write what each graph shows, constant velocity, stationary. So what we've got here is we have a change in velocity over time. So here we have no change in velocity. If something is traveling with no change in velocity, then what we have is we have a constant velocity. So this would be a constant velocity. This one, okay, would be, well, it's a straight line. So in time, what's actually happening is the velocity is increasing. So after 2 seconds, it's traveling at 2 meters per second. After 6 seconds, whatever it is traveling at 6 meters per second. So what's actually happening is the vehicle or the object is getting faster and faster and faster. So it's accelerating, it's got a change in velocity. So this is our constant acceleration. It's constant because we have a constant gradient. With this one here, you need to look at the line, and the line is on the 0 line. With these curves, you need to think about what's happening to velocity over time. Okay. Now, what we can do then is we can also find the gradient. Okay. Well, if we find the gradient, G, well, the gradient G is the change in Y over the change in X, which in our case is the change in velocity over the change in time, which is acceleration. So we can actually use this to find acceleration. So let's have a look. We take this then, we can see that we have a, well, I'm going to assume that started at 0, so it's cutting through there. It's just an error in the thing. So that's, we have a time of 2. I'll take this one here. I'm trying to calculate the gradient. Take that line there. So we have 8 here. So our change in time is equal to 8 minus 2, which is 6. And our change in velocity, well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. So that's 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3. So our change in velocity is equal to 3. So the gradient is going to be equal to the change in y, which is 3, divided by the change in x, which is 6. So 3 divided by 6 is actually going to be equal to 0.5, and that's 0.5 meters per second, or meters per second squared. Now, you might want to pause the video now and have a look at that and do it onto yours. Now, I'm not going to calculate the gradient of this one because it also here asks us to calculate the distance travelled. Now, if the gradient is equal to the change in velocity over the change in time, and I rearrange this, then, okay, what we can see is that, well, velocity, well, if we take velocity is equal to displacement s over time. So if I rearrange this, what I can see is that displacement is velocity times time. And if I take the area underneath the graph, that is the velocity times time. So what we've actually got then is, if I take the area under this graph, and I'll just do this bit then, well, the area underneath this graph is this triangle. So if I want to find the area under here, I need to think about the area of a triangle. The area of a triangle is given by half base times height. So in our case then, the area under the graph is actually equal to displacement S. So the area under here is going to be a half times whatever the base is, which is 8, times whatever the height is, which is, in our case, 7. So 7 times 8 is 56, I believe. Let's say, just since I've done that one. 7, why am I checking? Well, 7 times 8 was 56. Times a half, and that's going to be equal to 28. So the displacement of this vehicle here is 28 meters. So what I'll do now is get you to do the displacement under this one. So pause the video and have a go. And what you'll find then is the area under here is given by half times base, which is 8, times height, which is 4. That's 8, 16, 32, which is 16 meters. And that's the answer we've got. Now, with these here, these are just showing deceleration. All these are showing acceleration. These are showing deceleration, which is negative acceleration. Okay, so you can still work out the displacement in the same method. Okay, good luck.